cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. This is my last resort. Cut my life into pieces. I reach my last resort.
Hi again, everybody. Hope you're all enjoying RC as much as I do. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about something that I get a question about probably 4 or 5 times a week, and there's good reason for that. I keep getting questions about the differences between the E-REVO and the E-MAXX, and which one's better, which one's faster, which one's stronger, which one everybody should buy. And there's a lot of good reason for those questions, so I thought today we'd take just a little bit of time to talk about that, talk about a lot of ways that they're the same, and also some ways that they're different, and what makes each one unique, and what makes you maybe want one model over the other, or choose one model over the other for the type of RC adventure that you want to have. So some of the ways that these models are the same is they're both 4-wheel drive. They both use the same motors. They use Titan 550s, 2 motors. They both use 2 battery packs. They have the same transmission. They both use the REVO drivetrain, although it's slightly different for each of them because they're different lengths. So the drivetrain is a little bit different length, but it's the same spec. It's both REVO spec drivetrain. And the gearing ratio that comes stock on both these models is the same. So that means that their final top speed stock is going to be very, very similar. They both use the same speed controller. It is waterproof. Which means, and not only is it waterproof, but all their electronics, the servos, are all waterproof. So that means that you can run these models in snow, mud, rain, a lot of conditions that you normally can't run RC models in. It's very cool, actually. That's a big selling point for a lot of people, myself included. Both of them have a ton of aftermarket mods, and both of them are extremely fun to drive. So as you can see, you can start to see where the confusion comes in, because mechanically these models are very, very similar, and a lot of people are having trouble deciding which model they should go with. First of all, let me tell you that they're both very fun. Either one of them is fun. You're not going to be sorry with either one of these models. But we're still going to talk about how they're different and how they're unique, and there is definitely some differences. So we're going to get into that right now. So let's talk about the differences. Easiest way to start out is by saying the E-MAXX is a basher. The E-REVO is a racer. So a good way to start thinking about, if you're trying to make the decision between these two models, is, do I like to bash more than I like to race? Then you might think about the E-MAXX and start looking at it a little bit more. Do I like to race more than I like to bash? Then you might look at the E-REVO and take a look to see what if it matches what you're looking for. Now keep in mind that both these models can do both. The E-REVO can bash. The E-MAXX can race. But they were designed and modified specifically for different purposes. So if you think about what you like to do, then that'll help you start thinking about which model you might look at. So let's take a look at these trucks side by side. The single biggest difference in these two trucks is the suspension. The E-REVO has been modified to have a very low center of gravity. This is great for racing and also for cornering. The E-MAXX has a much higher center of gravity, and this is great for getting over big obstacles and from landing from big jumps. Now let's take a closer look at the E-MAXX suspension. It's comprised of 2 conventional shocks at each corner of the truck. These are plastic-bodied shocks, and they're very similar in design to a lot of shocks used in a lot of different RC models. In contrast, the E-REVO suspension has been completely redone, and there's no external shocks at all, as you can see from this picture. The shocks are instead in the body of the car, and they use telescoping rods and hardware to connect to the wheel assemblies and to control the suspension. One big advantage of this design is that the shocks are not down close to the wheels or in front where they can get hit or damaged in a collision or get mud and debris in them. These are also higher quality shocks. They are metal bodied, and they're also adjustable. So as you can see, both trucks have some similarities, and both trucks are different. They've been modified to specifically match a purpose. The E-REVO is more made for racing. The E-MAXX is more made for jumping and bashing. But keep in mind, either one of these trucks is a great truck. They're a blast to drive. You're going to have fun no matter which one you buy. So good luck with your decision.